Hello everyone! I hope you are all having a marvelous time this lovely day, and hopefully it's about to become even a little better. Welcome into Lady Arcader's Attract Mode, a star-studded showcase of women in gaming. My name is PippyInATopHat, and I'll be your humble host this day. In just a moment, I'll be handing it over to Galasrinie for tonight's feature performance of Blood Will Tell, Tezuka Osamu's Dororo. But first, allow me to share some news. If you'd like to join the stars on our cast, you're in luck. Submissions for Lady Arcader's Super Showcase 2023 are now open. All women of any description are welcome to submit their gaming-related showcases, be they speedruns, challenge runs, or something cool and creative you want to share. The show will be happening July 6th through 9th, so come on, join us on stage, won't you? Or, if behind the scenes is more your jam, try our volunteer form. We'd be happy to have your help on anything from hosting to chat moderation to restreaming. Both our submission and volunteer forms can be found with !last in the chat. But that's enough out of me. Let's get to the fun, shall we? Stick with us, because in just a few moments, Galasrinie will be with us for Blood Will Tell.
Hi, I'm Galasrinie, and I'm gonna be showing off the Blood Will Tell speedrun. I'm really excited to get to show this run because this game is pretty obscure, relatively obscure, and not a lot of people know of it, but it's a lot of fun, and I'll get to show off what we do for the speedrun. So we're gonna be doing any percent new game, just any percent, and we'll just have to get to the right thing to start the run. So it's gonna be, when I press story mode, which will be in 3, 2, 1, go. So this is Blood Will Tell, Tezuka Osamu's Dororo. For those who don't know, sorry, Tezuka Osamu is the creator of the Dororo story, and he is also the person that created Astro Boy and a lot of other really well-known things. So yeah, he's really well-known in the manga writing world.
Move with the left analog stick.
But today I'll get to show off Dororo. So
this will allow you to straighten from side to side.
The game, on the speedrun, because we skipped the cutscenes, I won't be able to explain the story of the game, so I might as well explain it now because this is a tutorial part where you get taught how to use the buttons and everything and what they do.
Yes, very good, Yakimaru.
So the story of the story is, so the main character, Yakimaru, his father is a leader of Japan, and in order to gain power, he made a pact or a deal with the fiends, or the demonic creatures of Japan, and by doing so, he had to exchange his firstborn child's body parts. That's what the fiends wanted from him in order for him to get power.
When your sword flashes,
so the main character as a child, he got sent off onto a river like a baby with no body parts. And he got found by someone that made him prosthetics.
Once the enemy's health has
and now that he is older and grown up, he is on a mission to defeat the fiends that stole his body parts from him.
You may be rewarded.
Yeah, so that's the whole premise of the story and the game.
Your spirit gauge to fill up.
Yeah, in the tutorial we get taught basic mechanics of the game.
Now, press the square
this spirit move you're gonna see quite a few times. It's really powerful, but it's not very easy to control. It's but it does do
You
a
will
lot of
be
damage
able
to
to
certain
learn
enemies in
more
the game.
spirit attacks
So we're gonna
by
try and do
finding
that.
Spirit scrolls. Press the L. See how the weapon in your hand. Excellent.
And yeah, with his
swords.
prosthetics, he has swords
There
in
are
his
many
arms,
other
which he
kinds of
uses
swords.
to
Be sure to try each
defeat
one at least once.
the enemies. He has the
Finally,
swords in
I
his
will
arms, or he
explain
has
how
a
these
blade that
weapons
he
are
can just
built
carry.
into your body.
Yeah.
First, your right arm. Impressive, isn't it? I call it the
He has
repeater
a gun
arm
in
cannon.
his arm, and he
This
also
weapon can be
has
used when you have your sword
a
arm
cannon
drawn.
in his knee
It
for
is
the game,
very effective, but there is
which
limited
the
ammo,
tutorial will tell us
so
about in just a
use it
moment.
wisely. Now, once you select your gun, quite powerful.
So that's
I call it the guided leg.
all the
cannon.
tutorial, and the man
It
talking
is very
in the
powerful,
tutorial
but
is
uses
the
special
person
ammo.
that helped
Use it
Hyakimaru
sparingly.
get his prosthetics and
Oh,
basically
I
to be able to
almost
live
forgot.
and not die.
Those swords
So
in your arm.
yeah, he's someone really important
As
in
you
the story,
defeat
but you only
enemies
hear
with
him
them,
in the
the
tutorial.
swords will increase in
But
level.
in the books and stuff,
Be
he's
sure
really
to
important.
use them often, Hyakimaru, for they will serve you well. Hyakimaru, your journey begins here. Steel your will. Be strong. Defeat the 48.
Yeah, 48 fiends
Return
is
here
how many
alive.
fiends are in the
I
game,
await you,
but
Hyakimaru.
there are a lot of them that are side bosses that we don't actually have to defeat for any percent. So yeah, but there is a category for all fiends. Now, for the start of the run, for the kind of early game segments, so in the tutorial he says that, you know, your swords get stronger the more you defeat enemies, which is technically true, but also not necessary in that you only have to hit enemies for your swords to level up. So specifically for early game, before we start collecting swords that are of higher levels, it's really important to just hit enemies along the way to help the swords level up. Yeah. It's gonna be really important to do that. Because if you don't do that, because you might think, oh, on a speedrun it would be slow to just randomly hit enemies like along the way. But it's a lot slower if your swords aren't leveled up, because you hardly do any damage. So it's really important to do that. We have a little bug fight here. I'm gonna just try and kill 2 at a time if I can with that combo. But if they're not too close together, I won't try it. You have to just try and kill them together. Unless they jump away. You can also get them to disappear faster by attacking them when they're on the floor. So that's something I try and do when I can. Yeah. Okay, so we have our first boss fight coming up. He's just sitting there. We're gonna get one of our body parts back. Yay! He's gonna give us our vocal cords. That's the first thing, because right now Hyakimaru can't talk. He can't talk. But after we defeat this guy, he will be able to talk. So the main way you're gonna be doing damage in this game is this jumping move for the run. Yeah, my swords level up the more I hit enemies. Some enemies have weak points, like this guy, he has a horn on his head, which is a weak point if I do touch it. But I don't, like that, he'll stagger if I touch it. And I don't want to be in front of him because he will do attacks if I'm in front of him, so I just try and get him to spin around and be behind him where I can. Yeah, so now he can... So now in the game, whenever you get hit, or whenever you're attacking, Hyakimaru will have sound effects, like he'll talk, or like, yeah, make noises. Before this, he doesn't. So, yeah, the game, like, follows with what body parts you get. Also, you might have noticed that he can't run right now because he doesn't have legs. So, once we get legs, we'll be able to make the speedrun faster because he'll be able to run. Yeah, just stuff like that. So yeah. We have another fight on the bridge. These guys are skeletons. I'm gonna do it to these guys too. And then we use a cannon for them if they're too far away. Get rid of that. And this is where you meet Dororo. So Dororo is a young girl. Initially in the story, Hyakimaru and others think that she's a boy, but she is a girl. Dororo is a girl. Young girl. She's just very like sporty and yeah. Yeah, she's cute. So now she's gonna be a sidekick for Dororo. In the story, she wants to steal his sword because she's a thief. So she's tagging along with him because she eventually wants to steal his sword. But yeah, it progresses that she becomes his friend and they become friends. So for this fight, this is Homunculus. The top of Homunculus's head is the weak point. So phase 1, you just have to make them drop Dororo. And then phase 2 is the actual defeat. Right at the start, I want to do this move, because this does a lot of damage to Homunculus. As you can see, it's doing a lot of damage, and it's dead. So that move can be really powerful in certain situations. But because Hyakimaru moves, it can be a bit hard to control. Now, from defeating that fiend, he got his left eye. And you'll notice that the game changes. The game is now in color because he can now see. Yeah, so the game also progresses along with what body parts he gets. So the game isn't always in black and white. It's just the start. So now he can see in color. So the game is in color. Yeah. Yeah. That's nice. There are quite a few cutscenes in this game because it's pretty story heavy and because it's action adventure. Yeah, there's quite a few cutscenes to skip. But I do recommend giving this game a try if you like a good story, because I like story and story's nice. Yeah. So yeah, before this, or just then, it teaches you that you can command Dororo to do certain things. Right now, Dororo is in fight mode, which you can tell from the bottom right, the little red fist in the right hand corner. But you can also tell Dororo to, go inspect stuff or go collect items, and then Dororo will go around collecting all the items in the area, stuff like that. Yeah, so that's also a part of it. But for the run, we just want her constantly in attack mode. Especially for boss fights, it's really impressive how much damage Dororo does. She does so much damage. Yeah, she's really strong. So we always want her to, be in attack mode.
Save the game here.
She's stronger than Hyakimaru, I'll say that. So, we kind of hope in fights that her AI is aggressive. Yeah. Because when you play this, when you're doing the run, you can't control exactly what she does. Because sometimes she can just, stare at an enemy, and you don't really want that happening. But if she's aggressive, she really helps fights.
Have leveled up.
Yeah. So we hope that she will be like that. Especially on some certain fights. Yeah, she helps a lot. Good on you, Dororo. Yeah, we're just gonna be hitting enemies while walking through here. Not gonna hit that one though because there's an enemy that drops down and I don't like him. There are flying enemies there. A lot of different types of enemies in this game. Now, you can collect items from stones. Like this one. In this stone there is the spirit up. Little candle for the spirit meter to go up. Because in the next fight, I'm hoping to use that attack. So that will help to fill that up faster. Yeah. So this is chapter 1. It's called You Die because that's the name of the character that controls this village. Now this boss is named Scourge. He's like a big lizard. And my spirit meter isn't where I want it to be. Typically I'd want to use it here because his tail is a weak spot. But I'm not going to get a chance to use it. See, now I have it. That's unfortunate. Typically I want to use it before he gets on the wall. Just going to shoot him a bit and then he stops around here. I might use it when he comes down. On the face it doesn't do as much damage. Okay. Sometimes the game is really surprising because you think that there's quite a bit of damage left to do to him. Or he has quite a bit of health, but then it says, nah, you killed him. Like just then. It's like, oh, okay. I think also because Dororo was next, she was doing some punches, so she helped out too. In the game, there are little segments where you play as Dororo. Because she's a thief, she does a lot of investigating and stuff like that. Don't like these ledges because they're really hard to jump on. There are some spikes here. I gotta trigger them down before I can go across them. There's a little mouth here that spit fire, but we're alright, we just keep going. Have to hit this so that the platforms emerge. And we make it across. Now we get to introduce to a bit of Dororo's combat. She punches and kicks. She can also dive through enemies. Her dive is really good. She always says, don't mess with me. And there are these little hearts that sometimes pop out of enemies, which increases her maximum health by a tiny bit. But it's pretty good to pick those up because a lot later in the game, there is a boss fight that Dororo has to verse on her own. And it is probably one of the worst bosses in the game. In that she can take a heap of damage from it and it's unfair. But we'll get to that once we get to that. Now we're back playing as Hyakimaru. Gonna be collecting, because yeah, there are bullets as well as cannon ammunition from the rocks. So pick that up because I use some. And then we keep going. We have to go into the forest. Gonna be hitting more enemies. Really important to do that. Especially for the Scourge fight. And we're gonna have to verse that enemy again later. Having the levels is really important. Because if you don't do a lot of damage. And I know that because on my first runs, I tried doing a run without leveling up my blades. Oh, like I didn't hit enemies that much. And I suffered for it. So, very important to do this. I learnt my lesson as a new runner. Anyway. So there's not too many runners of this game. Currently there's me and another runner whose name is Timmy Toby. are active, who are active runners. And yeah, there are a few other runs on the leaderboard, but this game is still unoptimized, but it is a lot of fun to play, so yeah, I get to play. So now we're following this troll who asks, do you want some? You want some? We're following him, yeah, through this forest. And while I'm doing this, I'm just gonna be hitting enemies for more levels. Also, you'll notice throughout the game, there are these little green circles. They're a medicine. Once you acquire enough, Hyakimaru can get a full revive. It's pretty hard to get because you have to collect quite a bit of them. But by endgame, for like the final bosses in the run, you typically have enough for a revive, so that really helps like with no resetting this game. So yeah, that's really good to have. Yeah. Just constantly hitting enemies, hoping that my swords will be of good level. But yeah, this Dororo has or the story of this game, there are books and there's also a show as well. And I think there was a remaster or remake of the show not too long ago, a couple of years ago. So yeah, yep, level up.
Save the game here.
Okay.
Yeah,
So. Oh, there we go. We have to go through those trees. That's where he is leading us. He is leading us to all the money that the villagers had stolen from them. Yep. Or the villagers, they lost their money and they don't know why. And they think that gold guy is like a bad guy, but he's actually a good guy. He's just been trying to tell the villagers where all their stolen money is. So now we have to run to that spot on the map that's shining. The map on the right hand side is such a big help in the game because, yeah, without that map it would be hard to navigate through some certain areas, so I'm really thankful that there's a map in the game. It's very good. Also tells you when there's enemies spawning in, or like when there's enemies around. The little red dots mean that there are enemies. Enemies mean I'm gonna hit them. The camera is not on my side. We just have to travel to that point there because Dororo got captured after we played as them. So we have to go help her. Help her not get executed. I think maybe not executed, but just get released from. We just have to go there. Here so I don't get hit by those enemies, because if enemies are spawning in like that and you just walk near them, Hyakimaru will get staggered and he gets sent. Yeah, he gets staggered and it's time loss because he has to get back up off the floor, but thankfully that was alright. Now we have Dororo with us and she's gonna help us for the next fight. We're gonna fight together. Hit these two guys on the way. And then we're back to verse a boss. So this boss's name is Hell Crusher. In English, their name's Hell Crusher. They have a few moves that they can do. This is their best move because I can just attack their back, which is very good. The worst move they can do is when they jump. So so I really don't want them Yep. I really don't want them jumping, because when they jump away, I have to chase them. I don't want to chase them. I just want to defeat them. So. And then they are done. Very good. Now, the body part that Hyakimaru gets here is... whenever there's that cutscene, he gets his esophagus. Yep. He's got his esophagus back. Very good. There's Yudai.
The troll is...
He's telling the villagers, hey, the troll isn't a bad guy. He's a good guy. Now we're gonna be playing as Dororo again. Dororo is gonna sneak into the manor to check it out and investigate. That's what we're gonna do. We're sneaking in. Again, first time was unsuccessful. Second time will be more successful. So just going through here again. Same as before. However, there's gonna be a cannon bullet over here. So I want Dororo to pick that up for Hyakimaru. Because one thing that Dororo can do, yeah, similar to how you can send Dororo to go pick up items. The items that Dororo collects, like when you play as her, she keeps them for when you return to playing as Hyakimaru and you can give them to him. Yeah, so it's good for resources too. Pick those up. Oh good. There's a few new enemies here, just wanna go right through them. She says, don't mess with me. Oh. Try and hit them while they're like that. Then we go in the elevator. Very good. There we go. All good. Okay. Now we're in the manor. There's gonna be quite a bit of running around, but we're gonna have to collect some keys and yeah, go from there. So the first key that we get is the silver key. And we need it to open this door over here. Okay. Gonna be some enemies here, just have to get rid of them.
Don't mess with me. Don't mess with me.
There is a box full of gold. And she's like, oh wow, cool. But the thing that we mainly need here is the smoke bombs. Sorry, we're not taking the gold. We're taking the smoke bombs. Because we need them to do something. Which I always think is the funniest thing. But, yeah, I'll show it in a minute. Up here. Now because the cameras transition when running around here, it's a bit hard to like continuously keep running, but try my best. So she throws a smoke bomb to this guy and he dies. But it's funny because you go in here and he's not here, so it's like he disintegrates from a smoke bomb. Just like, oh, okay. The power of that smoke bomb is very strong. Anyway. Because typically, like, when I think of smoke bombs, I think they just, you know, they impair visuals. But this one, like, does a lot more than that. There's a bit extra. Yeah. So we get the gold key after defeating that guy with a smoke bomb. And then, yeah. There's a arrow in here, which Dororo gets. Which is gonna be important later. And now we just have to go back to where Yudai's bedroom is. Run around here. Avoid the enemies that spawn in. Go through them so they don't bother her. And then here. Very good. And now we're back as playing as Hyakimaru. Very good. So yeah, we have to go fight Scourge again. So we have to go find him somewhere. It says follow the Scourge trail, and you'll notice it's like these green little green slime on the floor. Yeah. That's what you're meant to be following. But if you already know the direction, well, it's whatever. But that's, yeah, what it says to follow. Pick up that cannon. Good to keep the resources up. And we're just gonna make our way to where they are located. Now these enemies that fall down here, they are really annoying for that reason. But also because there are enemies that spawn in that try and chase you, like them, they'll charge at you like that. It can be really annoying because they're pretty good at running after you and they change direction, so yeah. Don't want to get run over by one of them. And then we keep going. And we're going through the middle. Last time we went to the right, but now we can go through the middle. Yeah. Just try and hit them where I can. That's kind of the last set of enemies that I'll be trying to hit. And then we just make it to where the boss fight is, which is here. Very good. Now we're versing for the second time. I would say early game, this fight is probably the most, yeah, or at least when I first started running, I was always find the Scourge fights to be. What am I doing here is I'm double jumping and then hitting, because I feel like I get a lot more hits on them when I double jump because of the height of them. Because they have all like those arms coming off their head. I can get a lot of hits in when double jumping. That's phase 1, and then phase 2 is coming up. But in phase 2 I feel like, yeah, it's okay to just do single jumps. Because I still hit a lot of their body. Try and stay like in front of them and to the left. Because if you are on their right hand side of their body, they will do a jump move that is horrible. So I try not to, yeah, be on that side of them. I'm actually gonna use a cannon here because they ran away from me. Skill was a cannon, very good. Yep, well, that's the end of that fight. Sometimes, yeah, they can run away, and usually if they do that, they will do a move where they launch spikes. Yeah. You can use a cannon on them or you can approach them. When you have Dororo back with you after, like, there was a segment where she was played, you can see in the bottom right hand corner the items. Like, she picked up rice balls and she also picked up the cannon bullet. Yeah, so if they are close in proximity to each other, if they get real close to each other, then Hyakimaru gets the items. Which probably will happen after this load screen. Usually that's what happens. Because they're like right next to each other. Or not, that's alright. I'll do that later. So we just have to go to Yudai's bedroom. So we find out that she was the evil all along. She was the one persecuting the villagers. Even though she was meant to be their leader. She was just controlling them. Anyway. Story. So, we're just gonna pick up some items here. The bullet and the spirit.
You die.
And now we're gonna verse her. Now her boss fight is called Ogress. That's the fiend that she is. She's an ogress. And at the start of the fight, I'm not actually going to approach her because if you approach her on that side without Dororo, Dororo won't move and Dororo won't help you during the fight. And I want Dororo to help out. Also, it gives a moment to pick up any items. She hadn't given me any yet. Now this boss fight is very random in that, especially in phase 2, which we'll see later, but I don't like it when she's moving away from me or flying away from me like this. It's very slow. Just hoping that she stays in a spot and lets me attack her. I always try and do damage from behind because typically enemies take more damage when you are behind them. It's like a general rule in combat for this game. Don't like it when she goes up high because it could mean that she wants to do a laser move, which means I have to use some of my cannon ammunition, and I really don't want to use that for phase 1. I want to keep that for phase 2. Because that's when it starts to get a bit more important. Oh dear. Please, come back! Come back! Yep. There we go, okay. She has to hit a certain damage, like, her health needs to get to a certain part before she goes to phase 2. And yeah, okay. Now she goes up here, shoots some bullets at her just to start with, and then gonna be using a cannon ammo to, yeah, make sure she doesn't do that laser, because if you don't, she won't stop. She does it forever. Okay, now I want her to do that again. Okay. This is not good. Yeah, okay. This is probably not gonna be very good. That's okay. If you can defeat her before she goes up again, it's really good because sometimes she doesn't come down even if you hit her with the cannon bullets when she does it a second time. I'm actually gonna collect that bullet. Oh, very good. That was really good. I got to replenish my cannon bullets on defeating her, so that's good. Because there's gonna be a boss fight a bit later. I might want to have the cannon for, so yeah. Very good. Now, after defeating Ogress, Hyakimaru gets his left leg, which means he can run. Yay! Which means that movement speed in the game is gonna be a lot faster. So, yeah, very good. It's gonna make our run faster. But apparently he doesn't need both his legs. He only needs one of his legs to be able to run. So, yeah. That's good though, because if he needed both of them, we'd still be walking. Yeah. So, thankfully he only needs one of his legs. Yeah. Okay. So now we're gonna be using... Instead of using the blades in his arms, we're gonna be using just a held sword. In this chapter you pick up a few swords which are gonna help with doing the run. Gonna hit enemies from behind. Try and hit them a little bit before attacking them from behind, just so I can get behind them. Dororo's trying to get this guy, but she's not having a lot of luck. But yeah, if you're not fast enough, they turn around really fast because they don't want you hitting their back. More dogs spawn in. I really don't like these dogs. They're very not fluffy and friendly. They're very bad. I also don't like these fire wheels because their whole body is a hitbox, basically. And that's not very nice at all. If you're trying to hit them. There's gonna be wheels here. I'm gonna try and direct them so that they... Yeah, do that. It's really horrible if they charge. All in all, this went pretty well because it's really easy to get staggered by a lot of the enemies here. This rock, there's gonna be health, which is a rice ball. Now this is chapter 2, Dragon Brood. So yeah, in the progression of the story, even though like the whole gist of the story is Hyakimaru wanting to get his body parts, there's a lot of like side characters and side stories. And yeah, it's pretty good like that. I like it a lot. So we have enemies here that are like a zombie kind of... Yeah, I think they're called zombies. I'm gonna be using this. Hopefully none of them really block. But they do really like to block. Yeah, like when they block like that, you have to get behind them. Dororo tries to help. She always calls out the moves that she's doing. She goes, Dororo punch, Dororo kick, Dororo uppercut. Yeah, she'll always call out her moves, it's funny. Now, the reason why I'm going down here is for this stone because there is a sword. Now this sword is level 6, which is better than the sword that we currently have, so we're going to be using that. Which is going to help for the next fight. We get introduced to one of the characters of this chapter. His name is Tanosuke. But I think we kind of just call him Dragon Brood, kind of. Now what's happened with this guy is he has a sword, and from the looks of it, it's a little bit evil. So he is actually like possessed by the sword. Well, not really possessed, he's more like the sword is in charge of, well, yeah, the sword is in charge of him. He still has his like conscious, like he's still conscious of it, but he is, yeah, The sword is very much controlling him or has power over him. That was a good fight. So for that fight, you just want to try and stay behind behind him because he takes a lot more damage that way. Also jumping attacks to try and get behind and try not to get staggered. Now Dororo's like, oh wow, he's got a cool sword. I'm gonna go steal it. Oh, Dororo. So Dororo's gonna get herself in a little bit of trouble, but she's really excited to get this sword that just looks so cool, but is actually evil and, you know, probably shouldn't get your hands on. Anyway, Dororo's like, oh, wow, I want that sword. So we're chasing after him, and we're gonna be equipping rocks. Now, we're gonna find out why Dororo needs rocks in just a minute. Because what's the best way to steal a sword from a guy that you see?
Hey, that's
The
him.
best way is to throw rocks at him. So that's what we're gonna do in a minute. Yeah, we're gonna steal the sword. So for the speedrun, we're gonna throw rocks at him while he's walking. So in this part, if you go too close to him, he sees you and attacks you. Kind of like a... yeah. Like a little sneaky kind of segment. But you can just throw rocks at him and steal his sword.
Yeah.
Dororo's like, yeah, I got the sword. Very good. And Hyakimaru was still recovering from that fight. And now he's like, wait, where's Dororo? So I have to go see Dororo, see what's up. Yep, fine, Dororo. What's Dororo been up to? So we're gonna find out what's happened to Dororo. They can get chased by dogs. I really don't like getting chased by dogs. I don't like getting hit by dogs. Don't like those dogs at all. In this rock, there is a better sword. Level 6 to level 8. So we're gonna equip that one. For the next fight coming up, which is up here. Get rid of those plants, because don't like those plants. Someone's crying out for help and we're like, oh no, what's going on? And who do we see? We see Dororo with the sword possessed. So we have to verse Dororo. The best move that Dororo can do is when she yells. Because when she yells, I can get behind her really well and do more damage. Each time she does this, I try and stagger her, but it doesn't always work. Okay, get behind. She actually does a lot of damage. In this fight, she does. Okay, Dororo, what are you doing? Yep, she's doing that. That was alright because it meant I could kind of... No, I couldn't get behind her. She's also really fast. Okay, there we go, there's a scream, that's what we like to see, and then she's defeated. And Hyakimaru plonks the sword out of her grasp, and he's like, I told you not to get near that sword! But Dororo's a thief. She couldn't resist trying to get that sword. Yeah, now we keep going. Now the next fight is the fight that I wanted to make sure I had cannon bullets for.
Save the game here.
And I'm actually not going to use the held sword. We're going to be using the swords in his arms. So, this fight is a bit annoying, but we will be okay. So it's a big fire wheel. So it's basically, its whole body is a hitbox again, like the smaller fire wheels. Except we got a boss version. So the way you do damage is by being at the side where the head is, because that whole fire around the wheel is a hitbox. It will hurt. Every time they try and like spin to see you. Dororo is really nice when she throws her rocks. For some reason I'm not attacking even when pressing square. But you want to do jump attacks to the side. Sometimes he'll do a charge at you. We just like it when he just cruises along. He's probably going to charge at me in a minute. Yep, there we go. Trying to fill my meter up, the spirit meter, because I'm hoping I can use that on him in a minute. When he gets low health, he'll start incorporating some different moves. He's gonna charge at me. No. Okay, that's unfortunate. I thought he was gonna stay here, but he didn't stay. Also, yeah, shoot at him. Somehow those are not hitting him.
My sword arms have leveled up.
That's that fight. Yeah, but because that spirit move is uncontrollable, once you start it, you can't stop. And also, once you start it, you can't control really where you're positioned, like if the enemy goes somewhere else. So, it's a little bit of a gamble in that way, but we try our best. Now we go back to being with a held sword, and I'm going to be collecting the cannon ammo over here, which is in this rock. Just for resource. There he is, and that's his sister, who loves him very much. They're, yeah.
Damn.
And we know that because she's going to get really angry at us in a minute. But yeah. She really loves her brother. I'm pretty sure it's her older brother. And yeah, very sad. And we're gonna be seeing her a few other points in the game. Yeah. It's also interesting to know that for the Dororo fight, the person that was screaming out help was her, because Dororo was harassing her. And we rescued her from Dororo. Yeah. Her brother is yeah, the one possessed by the sword.
We have found you, Tenno.
But he's still like conscious of it, like he accepts it, which makes him a bad person. Yeah, when he does this move, go behind him. Dororo. Yep, do your punches, Dororo. Dororo does a lot of damage. Trying to get behind him. And do damage to his back. So there are quite a few phases for his fight. This is the first kind of phase. Now another phase is coming up in a little bit of a different area where the floor is horrible. It's like sludge, so you have really impaired movement. That movie just then is really good for getting behind him. Just a matter of getting behind him. Come on, Dororo. There you go. Oh, you missed him. You can do a jump move, which is not... You can get him out of doing it. Just try and get behind him. Do hits to his back. That's a really... Yeah, this move is really good because he stands there for quite a while. And there's a really good opportunity to get damage onto his back. Yeah, this fight is tough because there's just so many phases to it. So that was the second phase. Now we have like a third kind of phase where he just teleports constantly, basically. So I just try and go to the place where he initially starts teleporting from, which is like here. But he also changes his locations of teleport, like where he's... So I'm just, yeah, you just try and hit him enough and then... Now this is the final phase. It's really, yeah, the most awful things he can do is teleport. That's one of the most awful things he can do. Or just moves that, like, they're really hard to take advantage of. Yeah, when he jumps and I'm already, like, in the process of trying to attack him. That's a really good move. I have my spirit meter, so I'm trying to find the perfect moment to use it. But see, it has to be at a really good point because he can just teleport out of it. He also gets these stupid little flames I don't like. Also, that move where he runs forward is not very nice because it's really hard to get the sword to hit him when he's like that. Because of his movement forward, like the final hits of my sword don't hit him. He hasn't really a lot of movement, which is unfortunate. Oh, Dororo killed him for me, very good. She launched herself through him and killed him for me, very good. Thank you, Dororo. Now after defeating him and defeating the sword, which the fiend was the sword, he gets his spine. Yeah. And his sister is like, "You monster, you killed my brother." And she didn't really understand that he was like possessed, and that was the only way to kind of release him from it. Yeah. She didn't really realize that he was a bad guy too. Anyway. Yeah, that's what happens. So now we have chapter 3, in the belly of the mountain. So this is kind of like a foresty area in the mountain. And there are quite a few bosses in this chapter, so we'll get to see them. Quite a bit of movement as well. Gonna get introduced to some new characters too, so that's cool. And new enemies. Yeah, it feels so good to be able to run once you get your leg back. It's very good for the speed. So we're at this shrine, and they hear... I'm pretty sure they hear like a distress call. So they want to go and check it out. We get introduced to a character that you don't see on the run, but you just see in cutscenes a little bit for this chapter. Her name's Mio, and she's a shrine maiden. Yeah.
This sword.
So there are fights now in the game that are of non-lethal warfare. So Hyakimaru can't use the swords in his arms for these fights, and he can't use his spirit move either. Because he's versing humans, like these soldiers are humans, not fiends. He has a rule that he doesn't kill humans. Even though they kind of disintegrate, but they're not dead. Also, this fight is a bit of a pain if I get staggered a lot, so I'm trying not to get staggered. But sometimes it happens. These, in fights, sometimes you can get drops, like little pots that are not like, they can be red, blue, or yellow. The yellow pots are invincibility, which is really good in fights, especially in fights where you can get staggered a lot, because it means that you won't get staggered and yeah, you won't take damage either, so that's also very good. Because I feel like in a lot of these fights, the main, yeah, it's when you get pushed back like that, you lose quite a bit of time.
Thank you for saving us.
Yeah, that's Meow. Now we have quite a bit of running to do up this mountain. Well, not up the mountain, just around. And there are a few cutscenes that trigger to explain some of the story of this chapter's setting.
Dororo, punch!
We get a cutscene here where we see the villagers are saying that they farm so much rice but they don't get to eat any of it, which is very sad. Like they're starving, but all their rice, yeah, gets taken away from them. And we get another cutscene up here. Where we see the magistrate talking to the villagers, being like, listen here, kind of lording over them. Now around this corner there is going to be a much more powerful sword than the one that we currently have, so we're going to be taking a little bit of a detour from where we need to go just to collect it. It's important to collect this one to do more damage in fights. So we go from level 8 to level 15. There's some enemies that spawn there, but we don't have to deal with them and we just keep going around now. Yeah, just a bit of running here. This chapter has quite a bit of running, just to get to the locations you need to go. Thankfully we can run though, and not just walk. That's good. Cutscene here. Oh, we're playing as Dororo. I didn't mean to go on the menu. We have to follow the magistrate. And he's there in the top left. So we're gonna be following him because it's very suspicious what's going on. So Dororo's gonna investigate and find out what's happening. Jump across there. Those gaps have caught me quite a few times because my perspective of like where to jump and where they are is not very good. I think they call it depth perception, I think, stuff like that. Yeah. So he's walking over there, so we're gonna follow him.
Looks like the
Yep, he went inside a cave. So we're gonna follow him in the cave. There's this little kind of puzzle that you need to do. It says 146. Now that's the weight that we need to put onto this pressure plate. So we need 2 big blocks, 2 small blocks, and then Dororo's weight. There's 1 big block. I'm gonna do the other big block. So a big block is 50. So 2 of them is 100. And then we have the other small blocks, which I think are 100 each, and then Dororo. Just takes a bit to push him on. Have 100. Let's put this one on. Put this. Nope, this way. And then we do that. And perfect. We have the weight to get through the door. But before we progress through that section, we're going to be playing as Yakimaru again.
Mio, you're...
We're going to be versing this guy, who is very similar to the one that we versed at the start of the game. But this guy's name is Twin Blades. We're going to be using the jumping with the sword, 2 light attacks and then a heavy attack. And once I get enough spirit meter, I want to use the spirit meter because it does a lot of damage to this guy. I just need to get him in a really good spot to use it. And then I don't do anything. That's not very good. Usually he does a lot more than that. But I wasn't in a very good spot.
My sword arms have leveled up.
This guy can do, yeah, a move where he just surrounds himself in fire, and it's really hard to do damage to him when he's like that. So he did that once at the start, but I'm glad he didn't do it any more than that, because that would have been really bad. Yeah.
Ah, my ear.
And he gets his ear back. Yay. Very good. Go through here, there's gonna be these little guys here that drop knives. And what we're gonna do with these knives, these throwing knives, is we're gonna actually use them as platforms because you can actually stand on them if they're put into a wall like that. We're gonna use that to make a few little shortcuts to get to where we want to be. We're also gonna use this knife for a shortcut a little bit later too. And now we go through this tunnel. Thankfully Dororo is small enough to be able to go through it. And we need to hit this little... There's an enemy here, but we don't really care about him. We just want this.
Don't mess with me.
We go down here. And here. And we find that the magistrate has been eating everyone's rice. The villagers that are starving, their rice is just getting eaten by him. Which is very mean. So, we're gonna have to do something about that. But before we do, well, Yakimaru is on the way now to the cave where Dororo is. So we're just gonna make it there. Now the reason why I sometimes hit those plants is that there are some plants that can grab you or just hit you along the way, which is not very nice at all. Very unfortunate. We go to the left where the cave is, and there's someone guarding the cave.
Out of my way.
We want them to get out of the way, but then they want to verse us, and they're a fiend. So we're gonna have to do something. So this guy has a few moves, but if you hit him in the head, you can get him to fall over like this before he gets a chance. He actually is really painful when he spins, as you saw at the beginning. 2 light attacks, heavy attack, and then just do heavy attacks when he's on the ground. Try and not get him to do that move. Especially when he's low health, that spinning move gets all painful. And he's defeated, very good. And after defeating him, Hyakimaru gets a body part. He gets his stomach. He gets his stomach back, very good. Now we're gonna go check out what's inside. Go in here. Run around. There's an enemy that spawns here that's gonna try and charge at us, so we just want to jump over them because they're annoying. So I don't want to get hit by them. Dororo's been locked up in a prison. Once again, tied up, and we saved
alright,
Dororo
Dororo?
from that. Very good. Now we just have to go through and get rid of the fiends that come out of here. Also, one thing to talk about is when you get better swords, or when you level up, yeah, when you get better swords, you can do more, you can do different attack combos that you couldn't do before, so I can do more. Yeah, especially at endgame, when you get the much higher level swords, you can have a lot of options for what attacks you can do. So yeah, you get more options as you keep going. So there's a lot of those rice steamers there. You want to hit the third one. Each of them have a different surprise that comes out of them, and only one of them opens the door.
Demon aura.
Some of them have enemies inside them and other stuff, so I just want to hit the one that I need to progress and then keep going. So we find out the magistrate that's been eating everyone's rice is that guy. That fiend's name is Gaping Maw, and he just looks like a big mushroom or something. Like one of the Dark Souls mushrooms a little bit, but just a little bit more horrific looking. Yeah, he just looks like a bit of a mushroom. His boss fight isn't too, like, elaborate. It's pretty simple, but he can make us lose a lot of time if he decides to be a prick. So, hopefully he won't be a prick.
Mio.
But we will find out. Yep, so here he is. Decided to do that, whatever. That hitbox lasts for a really long time. We want to hit the top of his head. Because he did that on his. He's probably going to teleport soon. He's not teleporting, okay. That's good. Nope, there we go, there's a teleport. Now one thing he can do now when he is at low health is he can run. And we really don't want him to run because it is really bad. Yep, see, he just runs away, and he also heals a little bit. It's really hard to put hits on him when he is running.
Sword arms have leveled up.
Okay, very good. Well, not very good, but we did what we could. It's not very good when he runs. Now we have to verse the mountain's hands. So we have one hand. There's going to be two hands, but the first one we verse now. That was very good damage. So with the attacks that I do, I want to aim them in such a way that you hit the fleshy parts. I'm actually going to use a cannon. There we go. That will defeat him. He has a few different moves he can do, but when he slides his arms on the ground, you want to get to the wrist and kind of aim the attacks towards the hand part, and it helps to break off the stones, and then the flesh is exposed to do damage because the rocks are like his armor and you can't do damage unless they're removed. Yeah, so we want to do that. Got a bit of running. The evil plants. The ones that are kind of have a little bit of a yellow color, they can do that, and I do not like that at all. Very bad. In these rocks there's going to be some cannon, and like they helped me with the previous fight, they're going to help me in the next arm fight if necessary. Like, I might not have a chance to use them, but it's good to just have resources that will help. And cannon is also really powerful too, so yeah. Good to have. So, second hand, or second arm. We'll see what move he does at the start. This one is a little bit different from the other one, because this one can actually shoot fireballs. Just want to get rid of some of the stones. I'm actually going to shoot the flesh. Did another teleport, that's okay. Oh, again? Okay. This is very odd, but I'm okay with it. I've never seen him teleport 3 times in a row. But yeah, because this one has like a red dot in the middle of its hand, it can shoot fireballs from that at you, but he didn't do that. He just teleported to me 3 times. Okay. I'm okay with that. He also has the moves of the previous hand where it can slide on the floor and stuff like that, but that was actually really interesting. Very unexpected, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Now we got these parts of the mountain. So the whole mountain is a fiend, basically. So we gotta defeat take down a mountain, as they say.
Dororo.
Yep, that's what we're gonna do. But there's all different parts of the mountain around. So we defeated the hands, and we got some like little rock parts as well to defeat. We did one of them. Very unfortunate. That's alright. Now we keep going. As you can tell, there's a whole clump of enemies on the map coming up. That's because there are those branches blocking the way. And we have to defeat another part of the mountain to make them go away. To help Dororo get to the shrine where Mio is. I think that's where she is, but anyway, they have to get to the shrine. Don't like these little gremlin guys. Sometimes they follow me into this fight, which I hope they don't do. Now, this is really important because you can get a really fast drop from these guys. Not always, but sometimes. And if I can get it, it's very good. But I don't expect to get it because it depends on your luck stat. And, you know, Yeah. But it is possible to get it on a run. You get a sword, and that sword, it helps a lot with some boss fights coming up. I got it! Okay, I got the sword. That's really, really good. That will help a lot for the next chapter. Okay, that's really good. I haven't gotten that in a run in so long, so I'm really happy about that. To get that on the marathon. I probably should equip it now. Yeah, I don't know why I'm just happy. Okay, so it's... Actually, no! Wait, what? That's a different sword. I got a different sword! So, the sword that you're meant to get is called the Stone Breaker or something? This is a different sword. This isn't the one I'm even wanting. It's better, but... It's not even the one that I wanted. Okay. That's so funny. Anyway. Wait, I think I got another sword. Is that a sword? No, that's a bullet. Okay, that's fine. I was like... Anyway, I've never gotten this. Look at this sword. It's like a big wooden sword. It looks so funny. So, the sword, yeah, the sword that you're meant to get is like yellow. If you get it, it's a really good drop. And it's like a stone cutter. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. This sword is so funny. I've never gotten this sword before. Well, it's good to know that you can get that sword too from them. Anyway, it's better than the one that I previously had, I'm pretty sure. Because it's level 22. But it's luck sword. That's so odd. I've never gotten that one before. Anyway. So yeah, this tree, you defeat it and it gets rid of the trees that were blocking Dororo's path. I probably should check if this sword is even better than the one that I had before. Anyway. Oh, whatever. I'll still use it anyway. It's just funny that I got that sword. Yeah. What bizarre. I thought I got the stone sword, but it drops a different sword. Wow. Anyway. I still can't get over that. Cause yeah, it's a rare drop to get a sword from them. And I got a different sword than the one that I thought I would get. Yeah. Okay. So we're playing Dororo now. Dororo is gonna be running back to the shrine. And along the way it's gonna be quite chaotic. Now, the reason isn't because of enemies, but because of something else that we'll just see in very, very soon. It will start happening. We go around this corner. There are fireballs falling down that Dororo has to avoid. These are random, and it's gonna happen for the whole way that we are running. For the first segment, it's pretty okay because you can see where they're landing. Like, you can see the little... where they're gonna be landing from the circles on the floor. But when we get to the next area, it's not gonna be as kind because sometimes the fireballs come down when you don't even know, like, there's no indication that it's coming. It's just like, oh, okay. Yeah, especially up here. Like, yeah, like that one right there that just hit Dororo, like, there's no indication that it's gonna be, like, some of them, they tell you, yeah, there's gonna be one there, but then there's others that just fall down from, yeah, they just fall down and that's it. You're done. Okay, we keep going. Gonna stick to the left side because the other runner, Timmy, told me that, if you stick to the left side, I think it was left side. I hope I'm not saying the wrong thing. Like, you don't hit as much, which I do believe in because ever since I've started doing it, I don't get hit as much by comparison to before. I've lost a run there once and that was really sad. I was very sad about that. So, It is much better now. Oh. We're gonna keep going. With my sword. It's such a big, goofy looking sword. Anyway. Okay. So we got 4 cannon bullets. Very good, because that's what we're gonna use to defeat this. The mountain's eye. We have to shoot cannon bullets into its eye. And it does lasers. So when it has quite a lot of health, it will just laser one position. But when it starts getting to like lower health, it will start moving the laser around a bit more. I have enough cannon bullets. I try and like, yeah, shoot the cannon bullets like where I can. Unless I'm getting staggered. Yeah, now he's starting to move them, so I just try and get them to do it where I'm not gonna be. Okay, now there's just one more to do. Oh, I didn't mean to run down the mountain. Oh, okay. Okay, that was very odd. I'm gonna pick that up because I actually want that for later. And we shoot into the eye. Very good. That's the eye. It's very in pain, but it's not defeated. And Hyakimaru asks...
Is it dead?
It's dead, but it's not dead. We have to do a little bit more. So we're gonna be playing as Dororo now. And we go to the temple that's all burnt up in flames. Very sad. It's more just like ash now. Yeah, it's all burnt up. And we find the mountain fiend's heart. So this is what we need to get rid of. So what are we gonna use to defeat the heart? Well, the best thing you can use, bombs. So we have to pick up some fire bombs over here. You can only hold, well no, you can't. You can hold more than 3, but right now we can only hold these 3, and then we have to go back. And then throw the 3, and then they respawn. So we throw those 3. Sometimes I'm not very good at... For some reason they don't hit, but thankfully all those 3 hit, and you can tell by the blood splatter. We pick up these 3 again. Pick up these 3. Run back. And throw. Good, okay. Very good. And that's the heart defeated. And the whole mountain defeated. Yep, there he goes. And now, Hyakimaru gets another part of his body, which is his sense of pain. You think of all the things you wouldn't want that restored, but he got his sense of pain back. Yeah.
Mio's final word.
Also, Mio died. They buried her. It's very sad. The Shrine Maiden. Very sad. Now we have chapter 4. This chapter has a lot of running, but it's gonna be a lot of foxes in this chapter. Foxes of all different numbered tails. Lots of tails. Lots of foxes. And this is about the halfway point in the run. Yeah, so we're halfway there, about-ish. Kind of, yeah. Because I know whenever I hit this part of the game, I always think, oh yeah, we're getting to halfway. So there's this big wall here. Because I think there's a war going on, if I remember the story correctly. With two different sides. They're obviously not at war today, but... anyway. So we got all these foxes we gotta defeat. There are 20 in total, but on the ground there are 14 or 15. And then we have to change our location. And I actually like it when they jump at me, because when they do, it means I don't have to run to them. Because sometimes these foxes, they like to just prance around and run around. And I don't want to chase after them. I want them to be really close so I can hit them. Go up here. Have to platform up here, and then the 5 remaining foxes are at the top here. It's really good if you can hit them like with the same hit. Okay. Now that we've defeated those 20 foxes, we now have a boss. Who is a fox? This is Three-Tailed Fox. Now this fight is a bit random, and this fox can be very mean. We really don't want this fox to be running out like where it is now. The first one that happens is just always that happens, but we're going to try and prevent it from happening again because it is a lot of time loss. Don't run away. Oh, okay. She did that instantly. That was not even my fault. It's just because what you can do is when they get to this platform, you can get them to look at you, or they try and look at you, and if you let them look at you, they can do... This fox is really badly behaved today. They try and... Usually, they try and look at you, and then, if you let them... If you stand in front of them and let them just see you, they do attacks, which makes them stay on the platform. But this today, they're just not wanting to look. See, like this. If I let them see me. But they don't always stay. This is probably the worst fight I've had in quite a while. Because typically, I'm pretty good at getting them to stay, but it doesn't always work as effectively. Still a bit of randomness. Yep. Okay. I'm really happy I got to do that because I didn't want to see that again. Didn't want them to run away again. Oh, okay. Very good. Now we have this fight. Now this fight can be really painful in that there are a lot of enemies and they can do a lot of damage if they clump up together. Hopefully this is actually going really good. There's an invincibility drop. Those are really important not to get staggered, and you can just hammer out damage on them. But I have to also be aware that the invincibility doesn't last forever. Very unfortunate. But yeah, can't expect that. Now we have these, so there's the normal swordsmen, and then there's guys with, like, enemies with spears. The enemies with spears, they don't need to be close to you, obviously, to do damage to you. There's an enemy randomly all the way out here. Where is he? There he is. Sometimes that happens in this fight. Okay.
Hey, I see.
So yeah, now Dororo and Hyakimaru are gonna go separate ways a little bit. Dororo is gonna help these young kids, the siblings, get to their home. He's gonna help them get to their home. She's gonna help them get to their home. I'm actually gonna do this. Since I used, I'm trying to think if there's any place I need to use the rock. I don't think there is. Okay. Because I usually pick up that firebomb for something later. Or sometimes I pick it up for something later, so I thought I'd pick it up now. There's a cutscene there teaching you that you can crawl under certain doors. We find out that all the villagers in this place are all not doing too good. They're a little bit possessed. And they say, "Get out, spy!" Yep, so we got a little bit of a detour to go to get to where we need to go. We gotta go down to here. And around. Quite a bit of running to do. More foxes, we're just gonna avoid them. Go around here. Especially in like these areas, when playing casually, it's really easy to just get lost because you have to go, especially in the next part, which I'll show up. Really easy to get lost, not know where to go in these villages. In the village. That's the first part down. Now we have this part of the village. There is a lot to the map, as you can tell. But we're just gonna try and take the route just to get out of here and just progress. So those little slim alleyway kind of things on the map, they're breakable doors you can do and go through. So we want to go to the top left where it has like the yellow arrow on the map. That's where we're heading. Don't want to get slapped by villagers along the way, but that's what happened. Then we can make it out. There we go, very good. House is just over there. They tell you where their house is, so we gotta go check it out. Jump up here. You can jump on quite a few of the buildings in this part of the area. Gotta do quite a bit of jumping. Jump on top of here. I remember I got really confused with this when I played the first time because I was like, where am I meant to go? There's so many buildings you're able to jump on, and trying to find the correct way to get to the point where you want to go is just jump here. after the next one, and then we're on the outer area of the village, so we can just run around to where we need to go. Which is over here. And there's the house. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure they find their mom and dad aren't home. Yeah. So then Dororo takes them somewhere safe away from the possessed villagers.
I can save the game here.
Now we gotta go to this way. I'm gonna collect a cannon bullet from one of these barrels here, which is really important for the upcoming fight. Well, it's just at the start. It's good to use a cannon bullet to blow up the enemies. So we want to pick that up if we don't have any cannon. Want to restock on bullets because, yeah, on the three-tailed fox fight, you can, if they're not behaving very well, you can use up a lot of your ammunition. So it's good to just restock on bullets and stuff for the next parts. Now we have these guys. A lot of soldiers. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna use that cannon. Also, these guys are possessed, so you can use the spirit attack, which is what I'm gonna use. Helps a lot with that fight. Now we get introduced to archers. Archers are pretty, like, they're not very aggressive enemies, but they can be really annoying because they usually go away to shoot and stuff away from where you're located. So you have to run after them, and it's pretty... Don't want to run after enemies. Okay, I got the invincibility, that's very good. And we have all these guys with spears. So I try and just jump stagger them a little bit with attacks to get behind them. And then we have this archer. The archers also don't have a lot of health. So they go down pretty fast, but they can be a little bit annoying when they run away to try and get into a position to fire arrows at you. Yeah. Check my health, check my... If you're low health or low spirit, usually pick those up. I wasn't that low, but I picked them up anyway, that's alright. This next little running area, there's quite a few cannon bullets you can pick up. But often they're guarded by, these. that shoot at you. So you gotta be careful. There's also enemies that spawn in. Often at very bad times, like right in front of you, or in locations that are not very nice. I want to pick up that cannon, so I pick up that one. And we go to the next part. There you go. See a lot of foxes in this area. So we versed foxes that only have one tail. We versed a boss with 3 tails, and the next box is gonna be 6 tails. So a lot of... I really shouldn't pick up the bullets there, but I always try to. Yeah, a lot of foxes. And then the final boss will be probably what you can assume it will be. Now we go around. These foxes keep me up, it's not very nice. I'm gonna collect that heal. Now there is a sword here that you pick up on the run. I'm gonna double check what level it is compared to the drop that I got. Okay, so they're both level 20. This is 23. It has less luck but more... Okay. Yeah. I think the luck sword just mainly increases your luck more than anything. Which makes sense from the name. So yeah, this is one that you typically get on the run. It's like a flame sword. We're gonna use it for the next boss, which is, yeah, six-tailed fox. Now this boss teleports, which makes this boss a real pain. So we're really hoping that the boss doesn't teleport that much and allows me opportunities to hit them. The best move, in my opinion, that they can do is bites. They do this, they try and teleport and bite at you, but after 3 bites, they stay for a while and I can do hits on them. There's also that move where they do like electricity, which is not that bad. But I also want to try and get hits on the back of their tails. So that I do more damage. It's really unfortunate how much they're just teleporting without even doing an attack move. Like, that's really horrible. It's like the worst thing for this fight. So we'll try and do quite a few attacks just to get the health down, but yeah, this is rather unfortunate that teleporting so much.
Sword arms have leveled up.
They are down. Yakimaru gets the body part. He gets his pancreas from the six-tailed fox. So it's like a guessing game, but he always gets yeah, it's scripted which body parts he gets, but it's just funny to be like, what body part will he get? Oh, he gets his pancreas. Yeah, it's a bit of fun. Now, so there are gonna be quite a few like fox barriers. And to get rid of them, you have to get rid of the statues to progress onwards. First one's pretty basic to get to and destroy, but then there's gonna be a few others where you have to do a bit of looping and stuff to get around to them. Enemy spawn here. It's alright. Gonna have to go up. Yeah, see there's a barrier there I can't go through, but that's where we need to be going to get out of here. Have to go around. It would be really nice to find like skips for all this running around, because there is quite a bit of running around, especially in this chapter 4, like getting rid of the barriers to progress onwards. Yeah. Maybe one day. I've tried looking for some things, but I couldn't find anything to try and jump over and jump on, and typical speedrunner trying to find stuff. Yeah, anyway. Are we go up here? You can see where the statues are because they shine a beam of light up the top of them, which helps like locating where they are. So we're gonna get to it. There are these enemies that spawn in that are gonna be real pains in the butt if I'm slow. I'm a bit slow. Yep. As you can tell, they can do this move where they just go forever. The skeletons with the spears. Not the humans with the spears, just the skeletons with the spears apparently have incredible skill in fighting. And yeah, I've lost a lot of health because of that, so that's really bad. Anyway. That's not who I was aiming for. Please don't do it. Don't. You know what? I just want you to go away because you are in a very bad place. Okay. I use way too much cannon there. Anyway. As long as I don't die, I will be okay. I think there is a heal actually coming up, so I'll take that. I think it's in... Actually, maybe I'm imagining things. Maybe there isn't a heal coming up. That's alright though. It's just during that part, like, the guys with spears are really bad. But I'm not great at aiming. So I always take a while to aim because I'm like, oh, will it hit or will it not hit? Anyway, it's fine. We keep going. Okay. So there is a... So we can't go that way, but there's a statue that way. We can't go that way, but there's a statue that on the left. So we have to go around. All these enemies spawn in, they can just hang out. We just have to go this way. So we defeat that one. And then we're gonna go back. We're gonna go through the down area to get there. We go up. Hit the red one over here. We're alright. Okay, those spear guys are scaring me. Go away. Oh gosh, if they did that one move, I would have been toast. Oh good. Oh gosh, that was scary. Okay. We're fine here. I get a full heal, get cannon, get bullets. Thank you. My health is all back to normal now. Very good. Yep, and now we have a boss fight. So this is Snake Eyes. We're gonna see him a few times. We're doing non-lethal because he's human. Now, what I want to do is... try and hit him in the back, which I'm not being very successful with. That's what I want to do. While I'm jumping over him, I can actually hit him with the large attack. Which is what I'm trying to do. Then it staggers him like that. There we go. Alright, that was okay. Didn't die! Very good. So the next fight is gonna be the final fight for this chapter. So we versed 3-tailed fox, 6-tailed fox, and now we have 9 tails. But before 9 tails, we just have a human fight that we have to do. Where we're versing Tahomaru, who is a human we have to fight. So we're doing a non-lethal fight. He really just puts you up in the air if he hits you. That's not what I want. Trying to hit him in the back. But there are some moves he does where he really just locks onto you. Yeah. Like he'll just follow where you are when you're trying to get behind him. Because if you hit his blade when he blocks, I'm pretty sure he counters, if I remember correctly. And that's not very nice. So this is 9 tails. The first little part of the fight is really boring. She flies around and you have to do enough hits until the next part of the fight comes. Until there's a cutscene. Because it's like, oh, she has an armor on right now, so we have to just hit the armor a bit. Yeah. And now we can do a lot more damage to her because the armor is gone. I hate it when she flies around, it's not very nice. I want her to stop flying. Okay, that's fine. The one thing about this fight, which makes it a real pain, is this. She can't be damaged during this. She spawns enemies and it just feels like it takes forever for them to spawn in. This is probably going to happen several times during the fight. After she spawns them in though, she can be damaged. If she stops moving, I can aim my cannon at her. There we go. Dororo also tries and throws stones at her, which is very nice. Thank you, Dororo. The foxes you're actually meant to kill for more ammunition. But because we're speedrunning, right? You know, we just want to focus on the main objective, which is killing the boss. I mean, we can also get them for materials if we need them. That move where she does like a fire around her, it's just like you can't do damage to it. And we need to stop moving now. Yeah, now she's going back up again. Very unfortunate. Thankfully Dororo is being a real champ and throwing stones at her. Thank you, Dororo. Instead of just doing nothing, sometimes that can happen. Now I will actually go for foxes because I want more ammunition. Problem with this is you can get a lot of lag when the fire she's probably gonna go up. Yeah, I was expecting as much. Unfortunate. That's alright. I usually expect it to happen a couple of times, but I remember this one run I had where she went up right when she was ready, like, to be defeated. It was really rough. I will actually defeat these guys for some ammo. Might not bother defeating this one. Oh, good job, Dororo! Dororo hit her with a stone. Very good. Good job! Dororo's a real champ in this fight. Kyaki, please aim. Okay, Kyaki, I need you to really shoot her before she goes up. No! Yeah, see, no. See, this is what happened. Dororo is throwing stone. Okay, Dororo, I need you to throw stones. Come on. Okay, yeah, I need more. Oh, cannon, that's really good. Yeah, she's defeated from that. Okay, cool. Cool. Very good. Now, after defeating 9 tails, he gets his heart. Yeah, very good. And the wall breaks.
In a wicked...
And we progress onward. So now this chapter is gonna be like, yeah, lots of snow everywhere. A very snowy mountain. A lot of enemies. There's 40 enemies and then there's gonna be another really mass fight we have to do. I try and stay near a rock if I can, because then when they spawn they'll hopefully be near me. Doesn't always work though, but it's what I hope for. There's an invisibility part, I do want to use that. Yeah, often when enemies spawn in initially they're really aggressive, like they just charge at you straight away. Sometimes even while they're spawning in, they'll do attacks. Like they'll be coming out of the ground fighting. It's funny. Now, where am I going? I'm going over here. I was trying to get behind that guy, but I wasn't very successful with that. Yeah, and the spear guys are very good at staying out of range and attacking me. Now, I think there's an archer left. Now we defeated 40 humans, now we have to defeat 100 fiends. So yeah, for this fight I try and stay... Because typically when enemies spawn, I notice that they spawn like in they'll spawn at certain points around you. So by keeping near the rock, I'm hoping that all the enemies stay near the rock. Or like are kind of close where I am, so I can... Because where you move, enemies will want to spawn. Like around where you are. Kind of like in like a circle around you. So yeah, now we have flying enemies that will start spawning in. Progressively, like, strong enemies start spawning in as you defeat more. More enemies with more health. Just different types of enemies. I have my spirit saved for, there's gonna be some, enemies with a lot more health coming a bit later. So I want to use that on them because these enemies, like, they don't have a lot of health, so you can just defeat them pretty fast. I want to stay still in this rock. I'm kind of, the more that I hit enemies, the more Hyakimaru is moving, which I don't want happening too much. So yeah, these are one of the types of enemies that have quite a bit of health, but there is even an enemy more than them that spawns in that has even more. I got an attack up, which is really good. I got grabbed, which is really bad. Oh dear, that's alright. I don't like these. You know, these plants are so funny because they move. Like, they can just travel. They just travel around. And there is an enemy backing off all the way over here for some reason. Curious what's in here. There we go. Well, good. That's them done. Now, this is chapter 5. Yeah, chapter 5 is a snowy chapter. Quite a few different enemies in this chapter. Different bosses. Yeah, so there's a new enemy type. These kind of like, they're kind of like apes or gorillas or abominable snowman maybe that breathe fire. That breathe ice. They breathe ice, and if you get hit by that breath, you freeze. So, don't want to get hit by them. Don't want to get hit by them either, but sometimes that happens. In those cases. So we're going to be going into the shrine. If I remember correctly, I think the reason why Dororo goes in here because she's like, oh cool, maybe I can steal something here. If I remember, maybe that's not how it is, but she goes in here because she wants to check it out, basically, yeah. First thing we're gonna do is do this little puzzle. You have to push in the drawers. And there's a drawer up here, so we need to push that block so we can push the final one in, push those down, and then the scroll goes up for an underground staircase. Just run down the staircase. Let's see what's down here. Have to hit a gong. And we don't need to go up there. My brain almost went there. We can actually use one of the throwing knives. Because typically there's like a bit of platforming that you have to do. I have to do it later as Hyakimaru anyway, so you'll get to see it. But you can actually throw a knife with Dororo and just pick it up like that. Very good. Because yeah, with the knives you can stand on them, so that's just a cool thing to do. Yeah. how he plays Takimaru, but we're gonna see someone that we saw quite a while ago. They're returning. We see the sister, Misaka, the sister of the dragon brood, the guy that got possessed by the sword. She's here. Because we defeated him, she wants revenge. Give me back my brother, is what she says. But because in this fight she's really weak, you can just go behind her and... yeah. She's defeated. But this isn't the only time we're gonna see her. She actually has 3 fights in the game. So this is the first one, and then she progressively gets stronger as you go. She wants her revenge. But yeah, she doesn't have an understanding that her brother, like, yeah, wasn't very nice. And that was the only way to release him of the possession. Now this is... I forget their name now. Anyway, they're a boss. Okay, game, I'm gonna let you tell me what their name is. Redcap, that's right. Their name is Redcap. She does this, like, lightning spell move. All we're gonna do is try and stay at her back because we're gonna do a lot more damage to her from behind. Once she hits a certain damage threshold, she'll start disappearing. They'll start disappearing. Yeah, they start disappearing. And they summon, in place of them, rodents and rats and frogs. That can impair Hyakimaru, as you can see. He has like a purple aura on him. Yeah, she spawned... yeah, the enemy spawn in every now and then after defeat. The enemies. Just try and give them some hits. When they do this, I want to use my spirit move. I'm just a little bit scared of using it because they can teleport like that. I really don't want her constantly using it. But that is what she is doing. Which makes it very hard to do attacks on her. That's what can make this boss fight a real pain. Real pain. That blue move. Because it's okay once, because I have a spirit move to be able to
Sword arms have leveled up.
take care of it, but if it happens a lot, yeah, you lose a lot of time from it. Yeah. Which is not very good. Playing as Dororo. After this platforming, I'll use snow platforms. There's a guy in the ice over there. He's talking to us, but we just want to get up here where it's safe. Yeah, and Dororo tells Hyakimaru that he found a fiend through telepathy. Telepathy? I think that's correct. Yeah.
of the game here.
Run through here. There's a bridge. I don't run on this bridge because I've fallen off a few times when trying to run across it. So, we walk. Also, the enemies here, like, they can, yeah, do that. They can be real pains. And get in my way. But we made it, very good. Run up here. Yeah, the Futo mountain. I'm pretty sure this mountain appears in quite a few different games. If I remember correctly. I think it also appears in Okami. Or there is a snow area in Okami. So yeah, here's Misaka again. Number 2. She's ready to try again. Try and get her revenge. She's a bit stronger now though, and we're also on ice, which makes it really hard to walk. I want to try and get behind her, but just sometimes it's just a pain. There we go. Yep. Hyakimaru doesn't want to kill her though, because she's, you know, she's just in grief. No, she's just human, she's not a fiend. Hyakimaru's only interested in defeating fiends. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see her one more time and then we don't see her anymore. Going around that path is actually really scary because there's a lot of... So there's the enemies that can freeze you, and then there's also the blob enemies that can slow you down. There a lot of enemies there that can give you, like, yeah, very bad things. This boss coming up is the Thunder Fiend, and he's random. He's pretty random. One move he can do is super slow. This is a good move though, because it means I can actually do damage to him. Just want to stay in front of him. This is the move that I don't want to see, but sometimes we see it. Try and hit him with the spirit move when that happens, and he's doing it again. It is possible, like, to be inside the bubble with him. If you're at a certain part of the wall and he does this move, you can actually, like, you get staggered, but you recover inside the bubble, like that. So you can actually do damage to him. It's really a pain though, because like the charge up of this is already painful enough to have to wait through. Also with this sword you don't do a lot of damage, honestly. If you get a drop you can get a much like better sword to use here, but it's a drop so that's also random. He's being nice now. Just keep staying here and let me defeat you. Don't do any bubbles. We don't like bubbles. Yep, very good. Well behaved. So it's 2 light attacks and a heavy attack while jumping. Oh dear. this. Let's see if he gets caught in it.
My sword
Very good.
arms have leveled up.
Okay. Well, he got caught in that, so that was good at least. That's him down. We get his lateral muscles. So now we need to travel to where the waterfall is, where Dororo is, where the fiend is. Yeah. So we just have to travel across ice and snow. We're also going to be picking up a new sword, which is just around the corner here, so we're going to be taking a little bit of a detour. Getting this sword. Goodbye flame sword and hello goodbye fire sword and hello flame tongue. So this sword is like a red, has a red glow to it. We're just gonna progress onward. Where we need to go. There is a cannon ammo here, which I want to get for something quite a bit later on. I want to have some bullets for. So it's good to just remember what's coming and be able to prepare for it. Now here are gonna be some really bad enemies that spawn in. Thankfully I didn't get hit by any of them because they spit out this like bloop that makes Yakimaru really slow, and it just impairs his movement so much that you lose a lot of time when you get hit by them. Thankfully that didn't happen though. So now we're versing the fiend that was in the wall. This is Legion. Yeah, which is like the big boss fight of this chapter, basically, yeah. He has a few different moves that he can do. That's not what I want to do. I don't want to be on the floor, I want to be jumping. Because you'll notice with hits, if it has like a white effect after the hit, it means it's like a kind of like a, it's like an effective hit that you're hitting a weak spot. So if you're hitting above on this boss, it's really good. Using that isn't as effective as I thought it was, that's alright. Yeah, you can also like prevent them from doing attacks. If you stay in during that. This is probably one of the coolest looking bosses in the game, because he has a lot of like arms and yeah, he's pretty cool in appearance. Design wise, he looks cool. And he gets his nose from that boss.
Let's get off this mountain.
Yeah. But we're not getting off the mountain just yet. There's one, it's actually a side boss. It's not a requirement, but we do it in the run currently because Yakimaru gets his whole arm back. So he gets like quite a bit of stats and stuff from it. I haven't tried doing a run bypassing this boss, but it is probably something to experiment with since it's not a requirement. But yeah, it helps a lot with like bosses and stuff anyway. It's Red Cap again, the kind of squirrely looking boss that we saw before. Gonna be versing them again. Except they're gonna be down here. There's also quite a bit of lag that happens around here. Yep, that's why those enemies are atrocious, because this happens. Look how slow he is. He's so slow. I'm just gonna defeat them because that's what you get. Okay, now I can't even get up. That's not good. Platforming is definitely something that I'm not good at all in games. Which is why I would never run a platformer. Because I can't platform. My perception of where like ledges are and stuff is just really, really awful. I also have a bad feeling about that gong. Yeah, this is not going good. Usually it's the last platform that I struggle with, so I'm surprised I struggled with the second platform today. Anyway, whatever. We go onward. That's not good. This fight is being pretty bad because they are teleporting quite a bit and forming these things. Typically it's good when they stand and form them, but you know, it's not good if they're hitting you. That's really weird. They're gonna teleport. Yeah, I was about to use my spirit move, but they teleported, so I'm glad I didn't. Now they're doing this move, which is really bad.
My sword arms have
Okay,
leveled
well
up.
done. Very good. Yeah, he gets his whole arm back. I think it's his right arm that he gets back. Oh, his left arm. But yeah, it enhances his strength. So, yeah. Now we're gonna end this chapter. Cool. Now we have chapter 6. And the fiends are like, our brethren are falling! You know? He's defeating all our fiends! What's going on? We have to stop him. Yeah. The Fiend Council. Let's run here, and then we have Misaka again. However, this time she has gained some fiend powers. So she's turned to the dark side, basically. I'm trying my hardest to get behind her. But it's not being very successful. But she takes a lot of damage, so she's not that bad. You can do her really fast, as well as like her other fights. And then she disappears. Now we have to find the gates of hell. So there's a bit of a maze, kind of forest here. But for the run, I know where to go, thankfully. So basically for the run, you go right up. Right up. Yeah. That's what you do. If you go like other directions, you can... It's really confusing. And it's really easy to get lost, so... It's important to know where you're going. Because you end up in the same places a few times and can get really lost, so we just try our best. And then up again. And then we're gonna go up once more, and then we're at the place where we need to be. Up this little path up here. Very good. And that's where the fiends are. The statues of them are. From the cutscene. We go in. Now, while Hyakimaru's in there, Dororo is actually outside still. She has to come and save him. And yeah, there's a little bit of dialogue kind of explaining a little bit of the story.
You must kill this man who dares to defy.
And that man is Hyakimaru.
It's him! Hyakimaru!
Hyakimaru, what's wrong? Are you alright? He's being kept unconscious by magic. Father, what is Hyakimaru doing here?
I wait here because the enemies are spawning in. So yeah, Hyakimaru's father and brother are in there right now with him.
Who are you? Show yourselves!
The laughing is so funny. The fiend laughing, oh hehehe.
Where? Show yourselves!
Can you not see?
What? The eyes! They moved!
They're all laughing at him.
Foul demons!
Yeah. Because he's trying to look for a person, but it's actually them talking. So they try and get, yeah, Daigo to kill Hyakimaru, but the other guy's like, no! Don't do it. Yeah. So now we have a boss, which is a horse. Okay. I need to get the sword that I got Dororo to pick up for me during that segment, which is level 50, which is a big improvement for what I previously had, which is what we're going to be using for this boss. Also get a few moves. a few more attack combination. Like he has a lot more hits with this sword. This horse is running around, which is not what I want to be happening. It's not this horse can, yeah, like vanish and teleport. I was like, oh, it's not happening, so that's good, but now it's happening. Should have been hitting more. I was waiting for him to do that. Almost there. Look at that health. It was like 1 pixel health. And that's the horse done. And from doing that, Hyakimaru gets his right eye. So now he has both of his eyes. And it's really interesting, that horse is actually Hyakimaru's father's horse that he would, yeah, ride. Which was a fiend. I'm trying to stay near this wall because I want the enemies to like spawn clumped together with me. If they would, that would be lovely. I'm trying to get them to all spawn with me. Yeah, this sword is a lot more powerful than the previous one that I had. There's a lot of enemies that we need to defeat here. Try not to stay anywhere else besides I want to be. Yeah, there's going to be progressively more enemies with more health. I'm going to actually do this here. I wasn't very successful with hitting any enemies. Unfortunate. Okay, that's not good. Get up, Hyakimaru, please! Okay. So funny, I can hardly move, but if I get staggered, I go flying. The laws of gaming. Yeah. Being pricked up there. The strongest enemies haven't even spawned in yet, which is like these skeleton soldiers. Yeah, I think they spawn in when you get to around the 90 mark. If I could just... yeah, there they are. They're very good at blocking. I hardly hit them, did I? Just try and get behind them, hoping they don't do what that guy's doing. Good job, Dororo. That's it.
Tahomaru, before...
Yeah, Tahomaru. That's actually Hyakimaru's brother. Yeah. Younger brother, yeah, younger brother. Okay, so the first thing I have to do is I actually have to go down. I thought I have to go left, but that's incorrect. Enemies are very annoying. It's probably one of the things about the run, is like if you get harassed by an enemy when you're just trying to run past, it's very annoying. Yeah, it's like that in a lot of action games, just trying to go past enemies and they end up being real pricks. We should almost be there. Yeah, we're here. Cool. So now we have Boar Fiend. This boss, they have bombs on their back, and they also summon enemies. They're rather large, and I'm gonna try and do hits on their back. But because they throw bombs out, it makes it kind of hard to get to them. Also because when they hit you, they just send you 5 miles away. Also, it's random what enemies they decide to spawn for the fight. Because sometimes they spawn slimes. This time they spawned an enemy I don't really like that very much. I noticed they do bombs a lot more when they're lower health. Okay, there. Yep, all good. Now, which body part will he get? His pectoral. I didn't even read what that was. I think it's like pectoral muscles. I think that's what he got. Now we just have to run back. And when we get to the end of the map, it's also the end of the chapter. And then we have the final chapter. We're almost there. Now we hit the end, get a cutscene, and then...
At last.
We're at the last chapter. At last. At last. So, yeah, the final chapter is chapter 7. Yeah. There are 7 chapters in the game. And that's called Tragedy. Pretty big chapter for the finale. Yeah, we gotta go to Daiga's castle. And to do that, we gotta do some platforming around here. Which was the village, yeah, that the kids were in. Get up here. This was also another part I remember casually. I had no idea how to get to the spot I needed to get to. It can be a bit confusing if you don't know where to go. Also, Dororo right now is stuck, as you can tell on the map. She's just wiggling from side to side. She's like, huh? How am I meant to get there? But actually what happens is, if you're too far away from Dororo, Dororo teleports to be with you again. It might happen here, I'm not sure. But it is funny, 'cause she's just like, I'm back! And she just comes in from the sky. Yeah. Okay, so now we have 30 guys we have to defeat. With our new level 50 sword. It's not too bad, as long as I don't get staggered. Now, there are these like watchtowers here. And you have to break them, because there are actually archers on the top that were shooting at you. Yep, so you just defeat them and then you go to the next one. There's gonna be guys with spears that spawn in. I like to defeat them first because they can harass you while you're trying to break the watchtower. Oh, that one's already broken, that's good. Oh, he's running away. Come back. Oh, get him. He went flying. And you can always tell when they're wanting to be aggressive because they do this little strut to you. Like they're coming for you. Yep, there we go. These two archers, they don't run away from me. Hello? The camera is definitely never on my side. Just makes it hard to do anything sometimes. Just chop these down, and then the archers come down, and then that's gonna be the final enemies to beat. Just make them go away faster by hitting them when they're on the floor. And that's that part done. Now I have to climb up here. It's very important to climb up here because one of the strongest swords is up here, if not the strongest sword, and it's on a little platform that I have to try and get, but it's very important to get. Holy cow! That is horrible! Okay, I need to heal before I try again. This is why it's really dangerous to do because there's so many enemies that clump there. They just have to clump right there. I'm hoping Dororo will take care of them for me. Also, the camera is really hard to center here for some reason. I guess because there's so many enemies. There we go. Okay, thank goodness. So this one is level 55. It's called Phoenix, but it's really strong because it also gives you a lot of health as well. It increases your health bar quite a bit. And you also have more moves in the combination. Jump up here. And again, and then we have to go through this door.
Dororo!
So there are going to be several rooms with enemies that we've seen throughout the game because this is kind of like the last major part of the game. It's just like getting a little bit of all the enemies that have been in the game so far. And these stone enemies have a lot of health. The worst thing they can do is charge. Thankfully this is actually going pretty good because they're all just... These ones in particular are just here in the corner. Let's see who's left. Not that many left. He's charging. My sword is very strong. Gets rid of them very fast. They drop a lot of bullets. But you don't really need bullets for the end game that much, if I remember that. There's just one fight, maybe. Now we have slimes. They're gonna be spawning in around me too. The more you defeat, the more they spawn in. They spawn according to your location, which isn't that bad. Because it means I don't have to run around for them, which is good. If they all come to me, they can all get defeated fast, which is what I want. There's 2 here. And then there's some in the middle. Dororo's also helping me, that's nice. Oh, good. Now we go to the elevator. Cool. Now we have one of the castle floors. There is a bridge here that I need to lift and activate. So I have to go over here to lift it because there's a little thing I have to touch. This one. So that lifts it up. And then the statues on either side direct if it's going to be left or right. So we're going to hit it to go the way that we want it to go. He pushes it that way. Which is where we want to be going. We want to go over here. And run past him. The reason why I don't run when he's spawning in is because if you run and they land, you get staggered and get thrown off. So that's not good. I hit it again because we're gonna have to travel across it again in a bit. Now in this room there's just a lot of resources. Pick up some of them. Though I didn't really need too many. Well, as soon as these guys spawn in I like to just do this. And there's not that many here. Now the thing with these enemies is they go underground. Like that. Once you hit them, they will go underground to hide and then come back up. So I'm kind of hoping that Dororo will do her roar, because that will make the enemies dizzy. And they won't go under. But I can't control her doing that. He's almost done. The only problem is Dororo can also scare them from staying on top. Sometimes they go under if she tries to attack them. Yeah. Now we have to go to the other side. If you don't hit the point, the little button, you have to go all the way back and do it just to do this. Because there's no buttons on this side. Now we have a little bit of a trap room. There's like all these spikes and everything. But there's a skull in here that we have to hit. The camera is also not the greatest in this room, but that's to be expected. So we hit this, and then the floor in the previous hallway that had that symbol on it, yeah, it gets pulled down, and that's where we need to be going. Down through. And Dororo didn't even go in the room. She just stays in the elevator sometimes. She's like, nope, I'm not going in that room. Too scary. Travel back. In here.
Dororo!
This room. And then we go through the floor, which is just here. Very good. So all of that was to let us go past the flames. Because there are flames that are in front of, yeah, right there, like you see in the cutscene. You can't go over them or anything. So all of that traveling around is just to get over them. Yeah. Now they hear some imprisoned prisoners. Some people that were in prison. So little Dororo is gonna help them. Sometimes they get me. Now in this room we meet this boss. So the first encounter with them isn't their boss fight, it's just kind of like an introduction. But this is the enemy that Dororo has to fight on her own. And we need to make sure that we're stocked up on firebombs because it's really important. And we really want this, we really want them to stop going around. But they're not doing that. They're just, okay. Because what you're meant to do is you have to throw a fireball at them so that they go in the hole. Okay, oops. This is not working very well. Hold on, come on, do it again. No, okay. Please don't die, Dororo. That would be really sad if we died. But this is, yeah, this is definitely one of the fights that should not have hit me. This is one of the fights that no one likes. This is just such a bad what I have to do. I have to collect more bombs. To try and hit this boss into the hole. Because they don't always stop. They will just go around. There we go, thank goodness. Wish I could defeat them there. That would be pretty good. I must admit I've never tried it. Okay, all bombed up. Very good. Now we gotta rescue some prisoners. Very good. But not yet. I thought we were there yet, but we're not there yet. What was that camera? Like inside the guy.
Don't mess with me.
Okay.
You're
That was funny. Just inside. There's enemy spawning here. I throw a bomb just to get ready for him. He didn't get hit by that, but that's
Don't mess
okay.
with me.
That didn't hit the dog. Okay, that hit the dog.
Don't mess with me.
Wait. Okay, that's fine. Like,
Don't mess with
a
me.
bit confused. That's all the enemies. You have to defeat all the enemies in that room to progress. To keep going. So we have to save 10
Thank you for everything.
10 guys in these rooms. But we don't know what rooms they're in. Well, if you play the first time you don't know, but I know what rooms they're in.
Thank you for everything.
And they say, thank you for everything. Every time.
Thank you for everything.
How polite.
Thank you for everything.
Very good.
Thank you for everything.
It's just funny. They all have the same voice.
Thank you for everything.
It's just funny. Now we see Dragon Tank again. Oh, the person I don't want to see, of all the people I don't want to see here. But we have to finally defeat the Dragon Tank. There's gonna be bombs on ledges, so I'm gonna collect them as the first thing I do to make sure I'm stocked up fully on bombs. There's also heals here, which are really important to take note of because, my goodness, this boss, if it runs you over or hits you, does a lot of damage. Yeah, throwing a bomb while jumping does more damage, which is very good. And yeah, he's gone. Oh my goodness, the lag. Took him a while to get off his, yeah. Get off his wheels. But after defeating that fiend, Hyakimaru gets his teeth. There you go. Now he can chew stuff. Very good. So now we have this kind of silhouette fight. It's really hard to kind of tell where they are because even though it makes it look like it's 2D, it's not. Like they're not just up against the wall. Of the wall. Anyway, that's that. Now for the next boss, we're going to be seeing a boss that we had previously seen, but they've gotten a bit of an upgrade. They're a little bit more fast and strong now. Quite a few of the some of the side bosses are like that, but this is a boss that, for as we know, is a requirement. That, and then there's enemies here. That's it. I do like the arena for this boss because the walls and everything look really nice. All the green and yeah, it's the green room. Kind of like a jade color. So this is Ogress, whom we had seen before. Please don't do that again. Come down, please. Come down. Come down! No, she is flying. Oh god. She's flying everywhere. Everywhere but where I can hit her. Oh god. Okay. When she gets low health, she goes to the middle to try and heal. But because this sword does so much damage, it, like... she can't heal fast enough. I still do quite a lot of damage to her even while she's healing. Yeah. And he gets his lungs after that fight. It's pretty cool. There'll be quite a few, like, doors and stuff like that. For some of the rooms to progress, like the door shuts and you gotta defeat some enemies that come out. Oh, sometimes they fall down too. You don't really want happening. Unless they're together, then it's okay. I will go in here just because I want a cannon ammo. Okay. Now we're gonna have Snake Eyes again. We find out, like, in the story that he's actually working with the fiends and has been keeping an eye on Hyakimaru and stuff like that, so we gotta defeat him now. He has a lot more moves in his repertoire of attacks than he did before. So we gotta try and get to his back. Gotta be careful here though, because yeah, there's these little fire spitters. Yeah, he also zips around like that, which I don't like, because it means he's not going to be close to try and do damage to. He also has iframes before he zips and like after he zips a little bit. I need him to get away from there. Yeah, this is not good positioning of this fight. Okay, thank you for zipping there. That's where I wanted you to be. Yeah, this fight has not been going very well. That's okay, I just need to try and get behind him. Because usually, like, if you once you get an opportunity, you can do a lot of damage to his back. But I just haven't been doing a lot of damage to him.
My sword arms have left.
Okay. Got it again. There are a lot of loading screens on this run. Yeah. But that's okay.
Yeah.
For the leaderboard, it goes by in-game time, so thankfully, like, yeah, the loading times, they don't matter that much when it comes to, like, leaderboard position. Trying to defeat these warriors. I got an attack up, that's not that bad. They are blocking, that's bad. We go there. Now where is this guy? There we go. Doors doors open. And now we're on the outskirts of the castle. You get to see, like, yeah, these crossbows. But you can actually, yeah, you can run behind them. So you don't even have to bother with being afraid of them. Just run behind them. Now when the camera transitions like this, I know it's time to go down. It's good that it transitions like that. We go in here. There's gonna be quite a few enemies that spawn, but because of these crossbows, I can use them to help me. Kind of. Yep. I think that got all of them, did it? Yeah, it did. Awesome. Yeah, so you can use those crossbows to defeat them for you, which is really handy and fast. Very thankful for that. I did pick up a cannon ammo just in case if it missed some of the enemies that spawned in, but they were all good, so that's good. Awesome. So we have to defeat these 20 soldiers which are guarding the final fights of the game. So we're almost there. We just got a couple more fights to do. There's invincibility, that's good. There are 2 people. I have to look at the map every now and then just to see where the red dots are. Because like they were all the way over here. I was like, I couldn't even see them. Yeah, that's archers. They like to go very random places. So we have 2 final fights left. So we're getting close to the end of the run now. We're almost there, yay! We're going here. So this boss coming up is called Chimera. He has a few moves that are not very nice. But he has a part on his face, if he stops doing this, that I can hit. I hate being staggered. This is not... There we go. This doesn't really work that well unless I'm in front of him. That's not good. I don't want to be back here. Oh gosh. But like... There we go. Yep, that's Chimera. He has like a part on his face that you can stagger him. With attacks, if you can hit it. Now this is the final boss fight. Time will be after I defeat this boss. This boss can be a little bit mean though. But this is Fiend Tahomaru. So this is Hyakimaru's brother, but for some reason he has gotten possessed. I have to double jump to avoid that move. I'm gonna try and do as much damage as I can before he starts like teleporting and shooting stuff. It's really annoying if I get hit by things because I hate being staggered because I can't do damage. Also, his swings are around his whole body, not just the front. Which is very annoying. when he gets to low health, he starts teleporting away and doing a lot more faster moves. You can kind of anticipate when he's going to teleport because he does it pretty much straight after he does an attack. Okay, we just have a little bit more damage left and then we're gonna be finishing our run. And time! Yep. The end.
GG's.
Thank you.
Excellent, excellent run.
Dororo.
Now, if everybody would like to see more of your speedrunning prowess, where can they find you?
Yeah, so I'm Galasrinie. I'm on Twitch. You can find me there whenever I stream. Yeah, you can find me at twitch.tv/Galasrinie. That's the main place where you can find me. I also have Twitter and stuff like that, but Twitter's kind of a dump heap most of the time. Yeah, you can find me on Twitch. I play action adventure games, hack and slash, beat 'em ups. Right now I've been really attached to PlayStation 2 action games. I like a lot of like obscure games and finding out new games and stuff like that, so yeah, you can see that kind of stuff at my channel if you want to see me there. Yeah, thank you so much for having me here and get to show this off because, yeah, there aren't a lot of people that run this game. I want to give a shout out to Timmy Toby though. He's the other runner of this game that has helped me learn stuff. And I've only been running this game for a couple of months, but it's been a lot of fun and this game is nice and cool and yeah. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for sharing it with us.
Thank you.
It was certainly interesting to watch.
What are you gonna do now, Hyaki?
Is there anything else you'd like to share with us?
You're not going without me.
Whatever.
Well, there isn't a speedrun Discord for this game, but if you want to learn more about it, you're most welcome to just come to my channel or see Timmy Toby. Yeah, we'll tell you about it. Yeah.
We love an open and inviting community.
Where the people would work together in harmony.
Yeah.
However, there were yet fiends
All right,
that lived,
now if everyone would just
determined
bear
to
with us
retrieve what
for
was rightfully
just a
his,
few
and
moments.
to free
We
the
have a
world
couple
from the
more
plague of the
messages
fiends.
to get through,
Yakimaru
and then we'll send
continued on his
everyone on a
journey,
beautiful raid.
with
But
Dororo by his
before
side.
we do that, just a quick break. So stick around, everyone. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for... Oops, sorry about that. For spending this time with us and with Blood Will Tell. If you want to hang out with us more, first of all, ooh, lucky us, Attract Mode will be back this Sunday where a variety pack will be running some Bayonetta 2 for us. It is a gorgeous game and a gorgeous run, and it's being run by an incredibly talented runner. And I'm definitely not biased just because Variety is a friend of mine. No. How dare you accuse me of such things? It is a very meritorious run all on its own, so y'all should definitely watch. And that will again be happening this Sunday, April 9th at 2 p.m. Eastern, so be sure to tune in. Also upcoming, Lady Arcaders will be celebrating Autism Awareness Month with a collaboration with NeuroGals, a neurodivergent women's gaming collective. That will be taking place on Sunday, April 16th, right here on the Lady Arcaders channel, and will feature some of our neurodivergent members celebrating and showing off their differences and their talents. Last, but certainly not least, one extra reminder that Lady Arcaders Super Showcase 2023 submissions are open right now, both for performers and for volunteers. Any ladies we have watching should definitely use !last real quick to check out those forms so that come July 6th through 9th, you can show off your gaming prowess or just your charitable spirit and help us at Lady Arcaders raise money for care and support their efforts to make the world a better place. Thank you everyone again so much for watching, and if you will stick around with us for just another couple moments, we will be rating Abby's Corner, who is playing Fashion Police Squad, if my information is correct, which is a beautiful game about fashion crime. You don't want to miss it. So stick around.